different, still being friends. And from there, I just got the next one, which was following the rules. And the way I got that was my cat Leo kept going next door, and there's a big dog over there. And the dog is tied up, but still, you never know when the dog's going to get loose. So there again, I went, okay, here's my second book. And I wrote the second book about following the rules and what can happen if you don't follow the rules. And so the third book was really born out of seeing different news items on the news, on the computer. Even my 6th grade niece coming home and talking about people being mean to her on the bus or whatever. And that just is what made the third book be born. And like I say, I've tried to bring into it being different, being friends, and not bullying, because a lot of times I think kids do bully because they are different. And they make fun of kids with glasses, or make fun of kids with who knows what, red hair, whatever. So I think it's important that kids learn that. And I also think it's real important that parents and adults alike pay attention to it, because kids don't learn it on their own. They had to have seen somebody do that for them to learn to do that. So I think it's real important, and I love sharing my books with the kids, and they react to them very well. And I'm just amazed at some of the questions that I get from these little tiny kids. They're very smart.
Yes.
And they ask some really good questions.
Yeah.
What are some of the questions they ask you? Like,
well, they ask me, one thing they like to ask me is if, when I'm reading Am I a Bully, they ask me if I've ever been bullied. And they ask me about that. They ask me about, they get confused about the whole turtle and cat thing. They wonder if they really talk to each other. You know, and I said, well, if it's a language I don't understand, if they do.
Okay.
But they ask me a lot about if they really can talk to each other. They ask me about, well, you know, it's okay if I am mean to my sister, or it's okay if I'm mean to my cousin when they come over at Christmas. That's okay. So they ask me, is that okay? And I tell them, no, that's not okay.
Right.
You know, it's not okay. You can't pick and choose, and it's okay to be mean to some people and not others. So they do ask a lot of really good questions, and they ask a lot of questions about the gopher turtle because he's endangered. So they ask a lot of questions about that. So it's really amazing how astute they are, truly.
But Leo was the one, is the character, which is the cat, right?
Right, correct.
That was doing the bullying.
Correct. In this book, Leo bullies. Actually, what happens is a little squirrel comes into the neighborhood, comes into our yard.
That's what I was trying to bring.
Which Leo is a big squirrel chaser, okay, in real life. So Leo decides he doesn't want this squirrel around, so he's mean to him. He chases him, he calls him names, he makes him cry. Apollo is the big wisdom person in this book, and teaches and explains to Leo that he's being a bully and what a bully is, and that he shouldn't be. And then when Leo has time to reflect on what he's been doing, he actually realizes that the reason he's been being mean to the little squirrel is he doesn't want to share Leo's friendship.
See that?
So he really, he comes to understand that he doesn't want to share the friendship. And at the end, they're all very, you know, they become friends. They make chasing a game, because the cat can't help it. He's just going to chase the squirrel.
That's his nature.
So they make it a little game. He doesn't call him names anymore. And they get along and become really good friends.
So is this book, is it in the, you have this book, I know you say you go into the schools and you read it, but is it on the market way that, because I think the concept that you put together here, I think is great. So is it on the market way that you can obtain this book? And
what I've done is I've self-published this book. So it is for sale on several websites. And it's on sale on Amazon, and you can download it to Nook and things like that. And I have my own website where I sell it. And it also tells you all the different websites on my website where you can go to buy it. But and actually, people that are local, what I do with local people is I tell them, just send me an email. Just write me an email. It's on my website. Just send me an email, and then I'll just deliver it to you, because I don't want somebody that lives, 2 miles from me to have to pay postage.
Right.
And if they order it online.
What is your website?
It's author SallyATucker.com.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that should be easy to remember.
Okay.
AuthorSallyATucker.com.
And there's a lot of information on there. There's a lot of pictures of the turtle and the cat and my family, and there's a lot of stuff on there that's cute. And then there's also favorites that I sat down with the cat. We found a lot of videos on the internet of kitties and turtles and different funny things they do, and so that's on there too. So there's a lot for kids to look at.
So it's
if
kind of
they go on there.
educational.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I post updates. I'm writing, right now I'm in the middle of writing my 4th book.
Oh, okay,
okay,
very good.
okay.
So it's just, go ahead, Betty, you were going to say something.
Yeah.
Prior to coming here today, I received a telephone call concerning bullying in kindergarten,
Oh, wow.
and one lock of the child's hair was pulled out.
Wow.
And no one seemed to know about it, so they called me and asked, what should I do? Well, if you know that everything was intact prior to school, I used to work for the Department of Children and Families, so I say call DCF. They called me back and said they took the child to Baptist Hospital in a lot of pain. No one knew anything about anything.
This is in kindergarten.
Yeah, and I said, I told my husband, I said, somebody's not liking somebody, and they're mean, and they may not call it bullying, but it was ironic that you had called me to say,
bullying,
what
bullying.
this is about,
Right.
and to have that call to say, children are mean, and as you said earlier, they have to learn that from somewhere, because
Right.
because they don't come by that way naturally. So they either see it or it's been taught, to them. And one of the things that I saw in the book was when you illustrated or talked about that the squirrel is similar to a cat. And that the squirrel was trying to relate to Leo.